In honor of my upcoming review of Patterns of Evidence Exodus, I think it's fair to read Exodus itself. I'm starting at chapter 25. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the people of Israel that they take for me a contribution from every man whose heart moves him. Whose heart moves him, you shall receive the contribution from me, and it shall be the contribution that you shall receive from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarns, and 5 twinned linen goats' hair, tanned ram skins, goat skins, acacia wood, oil for the lamps, spices for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense, onyx stones, and stones for the setting, for the ephod, and for the breastplate, and let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell in their midst, exactly as I show you concerning the pattern for the tabernacle and all its furniture, so you shall make it. They shall make an ark of acacia wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be its length, a cubit and a half its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. You shall overlay it with pure gold inside and outside. You shall overlay it, and you shall make a molding of gold around it. You shall cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them onto its 4 feet. 2 rings for the one side of it, and 2 rings on the other side of it. You shall make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold, and you shall put the poles into the rings of the sides of the ark to carry the ark by them. Those poles shall remain in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. And you shall put the ark in the ark, the testimony that I shall give you." My screen cleared up now. "You shall make a mercy seat of pure gold," and the footnote says, "or cover of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be its length, and a cubit and a half its breadth. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold of hammered work. You shall make them on the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Make 1 cherub on one end, and 1 cherub on the other end. In the of one piece with the mercy seat you shall make the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim shall spread out their wings above, overshadowing the mercy seat, and their wings, their faces one to another toward the mercy seat, and the faces of the cherubim be. And you shall put the mercy seat on top of the ark, and the ark shall give. Into the ark you shall put the testimony that I shall give you. There I will meet you, and from above the mercy seat, from between those 2 cherubim that are on the ark of the testimony, and speak with you all that I have given give you in commandment for the people of Israel." Now, the design of this closely has correspondences with the designs of New Kingdom Egyptian furniture. I wonder where they got that from. Maybe from a prolonged actual presence in Egypt? Could be. Given that there's also a lot more internal textual evidence of such time in Egypt. For example, they're familiar with other aspects of Egyptian living. For example, let me find it. It's the simply this is the hail. "The flax and the barley were struck down, for the barley was in the ear and the flax was in bud, but the wheat and the emmer," footnote says, "a type of wheat were not struck down, for they are late in coming up." Oh, and did I forget to mention that there are 333 occurrences among 26 different Egyptian loanwords inside this book? That's 1.39% of the entire word count. This is uniquely high amongst the ancient Northwest Semitic languages. For example, there are only 4 occurrences of Egyptian loans in across the Ugaritic tablets, and 18 of them are just this one word teket, which means ship. Old Aramaic Phoenician has just one Egyptian loanword. I think it's khatam, which means seal or signet ring. And then it occurs, there's like 3 times across the entire Phoenician corpus. Once is like, and I think 2 of them are on this same in papyrus text from Egypt itself. Old Aramaic has just two Egyptian loans and 20 occurrences. 18 of them are just this one word, hatem, which means seal or signet ring. And then Imperial Aramaic from about 700 to 300 BC has a bunch of Egyptian loanwords, 483. However, many of these Egyptian loans are found in Imperial Aramaic texts, that's 186 of them, Imperial Aramaic texts, which were texts that were actually written in Egypt. In fact, 42 of the 44 Egyptian loans in Imperial Aramaic are found exclusively in said Egyptian Aramaic text. The remaining 297 occurrences are just 2 words. One is Gob, which means Gob measure, which appears 275 times. Another 19 in Egyptian Aramaic text. So whether you factor the Egyptian Aramaic text out or leave them in, this one word is still the majority of the Egyptian influence in the Aramaic text. Let's compare that to the book of Exodus. In Exodus through Numbers, there are 381 occurrences of Egyptian loanwords. 333 of them are in Exodus alone, so there are 48 in Leviticus and Numbers combined. Anyway, the highest occurring word among this is Pharaoh at 115 occurrences. That is less than 1/3. And let's assume that all of them are in Exodus. None of them are in Leviticus or Numbers. That's still just a little over 1/3. So we have in the book of Exodus, we have a significantly higher degree of Egyptian linguistic influence compared to these other languages in their entirety. And this book uniquely has more variety. It doesn't more diversity in that it does not contain any instances of single word carrying where the majority of the occurrences are just one specific word. So yeah, there is quite a lot of evidence for the Exodus. Oh, we also found an Egyptian Semitic city that was completely abandoned about midway through the reign of Ramses II, and about a generation later, we see the beginning phase of a bunch of new settlements popping up in Canaan. Now, where was I? Okay, I just finished up the Ark of the Covenant section. The table for bread. You shall make a table of acacia wood. 2 cubits shall be its length, and a cubit its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. You shall overlay it with pure gold, and you shall make a molding of gold around it, and you shall make a rim of it about a handbreadth wide. Right, and a molding of gold around the rim, and you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and fasten the rings to the 4 corners as its as its forelegs. Close to the frame rings shall lie as holders for the poles to carry the table. You shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold, and the table shall be covered with these, and you shall make its plates and dishes for incense, and its flagons and bowls with which to pour drink offerings. You shall make them of pure gold, and you shall set the bread of the presence on the table before me regularly. You shall make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand shall be made of hammered work. Its base, its stems, its cups and calyxes, its flowers shall be made of one piece with it. And there shall be 6 branches going out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side of it. Is this kind of like a predecessor to the menorah? If anyone knows, let me know if the menorah is a later derivation from this. 3 cups made with almond blossoms, each with calyx and flower on one branch. Okay, Google. What is calyx?
Here's the definition of calyx. The sepals of a flower, typically forming a whorl that encloses the petals and forms a protective layer around a flower and bud.
I'll look up a picture diagram later. Calyx and flower on one branch, and 3 cups made with almond blossoms, each with calyx and flower on the other branch. So the 6 branches going out of the lampstand, and on the lampstand itself there shall be 4 cups made like almond blossoms with their calyxes and flowers in the calyx of one piece with the under the each pair of the 6 branches going out from the lampstand. Their calyxes and their branches shall be of one piece with it, the whole of it a single piece of hammered work of pure gold. You shall make 7 lamps for it, and the lamps shall be set up so as to give light on the spaces in front of it. Its tongs and their trays shall be of pure gold. It shall be made with all these utensils out of a talent of pure gold, and see that you make them after the pattern for them, which is being shown you on the mountain.